Welcome to Conspiracy. I'm Sammy,
And I'm Taylor.
and we're here to unpack and analyze the world's best conspiracy theories. So buckle up and let's jump in. How you doing, Tate?
I'm doing.
Yeah?
Yeah. I wasn't prepared for the question.
Great. Ooh,
You normally don't ask me how I'm doing. So it's refreshing. I'm doing good. The weather here is crappy. And it looks like it's gonna be crappy for like the next week.
Yeah. Are we doing shoutouts?
Oh yeah, we can do shoutouts. I forgot about shoutouts. I checked. We're at 127 followers
Whoop whoop.
on Apple Podcasts. But then I also went and did more of a deep dive in the analytics of it all.
Of Apple?
Of Apple, and we have Sweden followers now.
Yes.
Sweden listeners. I don't know if they follow.
Okay.
I just know that we have 5 Sweden listeners, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. Whenever we would play, God, we played it like every once in a while in a soccer practice. I think it's called World Cup. And like you and a partner would be on the same team and you would pick a country. And literally every single time I would pick Sweden and it'd be like, Sweden! When you kick it, because you have to scream your country's name before you kick it in the goal.
I do
I think
remember
it's
that.
World Cup.
I think, yeah, World Cup sounds
I
about
was
right.
always a superstar in that, and I always picked Sweden.
I
It was
hated that
so
game.
easy to yell. I loved that game.
That game was like anxiety riddled.
That brought out the striker in me, man. Coming from defense, I'm like, this is my time to shine.
Good Lord. But no, I was pretty happy because on Spotify, we had European listeners from I think Sweden was on there, Ireland was on there, but on Apple, we had always only had USA.
Oh, and now we're branching a little.
Now we have some Sweden listeners. So if you're in Sweden, thanks for listening. Feel free to leave a comment saying, I'm a Sweden listener.
That's me.
That'd be really cool. We'll shout you out if we see a review. All right. So we're on the Instagram. So I want to shout out Lee Mac127. This one is totally a conspiracy podcast listener just based on their username. It's Flat Earth Boot Boys.
Heck yeah.
I love the username.
Although Flat Earth is tough. I tried doing research for that one and I'm not there yet.
Okay, because that's the one tonight. I was like, she's going to do Flat Earth tonight.
No, it's not that one.
I really...
That's a tough one for me.
The last few podcasts, I've been like, she's going to do Flat Earth.
Flat Earth needs a lot of research with it. And I'm just not in the mindset to do it quite yet.
It's one of those ones that I myself don't buy. So doing the research for it is really tricky.
Yeah.
There have been a couple.
You would have to talk to somebody that believes Flat Earth
to get their perspective on it.
Correct.
Yeah, I would 100% agree.
Yeah, you'd have to learn their perspective because I've grown up my whole life
not believing that.
Correct.
But it was like when you did the moon landing episode, I had a hard time with that because it's not something I personally believe. So it was one that I didn't have to research because if I would have had to research that, I think it would have been very difficult to present it.
Yeah.
Because all of the theories seemed very illogical to me. But
sure.
anyways.
She was buying it, people. Don't let her fool you.
And then the third person I want to shout out is Wags. I'm going to say that again. Wags Coin fan page.
Yeah, get it.
And it has a really cute profile photo of a dog in sunglasses.
Nice.
So
thanks, people, for the support.
Yeah, thanks for following us on Instagram. And like I said, if you
our new listeners, if you give us a follow, maybe you'll hear yourself and a shout out in an upcoming episode.
Yeah, that or if you leave a review on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, and maybe next podcast we'll do it off of the Apple comments.
That'd be really awesome. I'd love to see your comments. And mind you, we've taken good and bad comments.
There's some haters out there, bro.
And mind
that's
you,
okay. You take it with a grain of salt.
I know so many people, when you watch people that have had huge success with podcasts, they're like, you gotta take it with a grain of salt. And I've gotten better. But
that first hate comment, you're like,
just,
oh my God, that's what they think about
Yes. It's really hard to get the first one. But then after that, it's just okay.
All right, another one.
It is what it is. But then you see all the I would say the nice definitely outweigh the mean.
Oh, correct.
And those nice comments just... You thrive on those.
Yeah, they really help.
I said that rude. It fuels you to keep going. So I love seeing those. And if we see some more, we'll definitely shout you out.
Heck yeah. I mean, we're slowly and sadly wrapping up the last weeks of July.
By the time they listen to this, they will be.
I know.
It's
the last week of July.
sad.
And, as a teacher, that totally sucks.
It sucks huge.
Because now I have about 2 weeks until I have to go back to that hellhole that is school.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And this year...
If any of my administrators are listening to this, I promise you, I do like school. It's just I like summer too.
I like summer more. I'm not gonna lie. I went into teaching because I like the bulk time off.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge perk.
It is a huge
Although my
perk.
bulk time is getting less and less.
The one thing I don't respect is my favorite comment I get as a teacher is,
Well,
well,
you get 3 months
you
off.
get
I'm
3
like,
months off.
No, I don't.
Do you realize that I'm not paid for those 3 months? Like, we're not, they think that we're paid for our summers off.
I mean, you could take 26 paychecks, but
But that means your paychecks are smaller.
correct.
So you're not paid for your time off. I want to make that so clear. Because so many people are like, well, you get 3 months off and you're paid. I'm like,
Plus, it's not 3
No.
months. It's like 2.5 if you're lucky.
it's 2.5 months and I'm not paid for that time unless you opt to make your paycheck smaller and get paid throughout your summer. But like,
Which
I'm not,
then you're technically getting paid, but it's still, you took a smaller paycheck during the year to get that.
But I hate the people that go, well, you make 12 months salary. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't.
It don't feel like it.
We make about 9 months salary by the time you factor in spring break and winter break because we're not paid for those either. So.
Well, that's what your contract is.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right, so now that we've rambled for 25 minutes. All right, so today's topic is going to be something that I know you've heard of, but I highly doubt it's one of the conspiracies that you have on like a list to research.
Well, I have a lot on a list.
Okay.
Like quite a few. Okay, can I have some hints? I want to try to guess this.
All right, it has to deal with the lights of Hollywood. We're going to be looking into a single person in Hollywood.
A singular person, okay.
She's a singer
Okay.
and has some serious bangers.
Is she still alive?
Questionable.
Because if she's not alive, I'm going to say Amy Winehouse.
All right, so one of the songs is, why'd you have to go and make things so complicated?
Oh, what the
Same
fuck is her
old way
name?
You're acting like you're somebody else is getting me frustrated.
What is her fucking name?
Nights like this, you cry and you scream.
Avril Lavigne.
Yes!
Thank you. I was like, I know her because I do have this on my list to do
Yeah.
because people assume that it's not the same person anymore.
Yeah.
I know, and I don't, because I've heard lots of different ways about it. Like, someone was like, well, the first girl died, and then someone goes, well, the first girl didn't want to be famous anymore and is in hiding, and so I have heard this. I am
Yeah.
enthralled. I am ready. But yes, it's pronounced
Lavigne.
Lavigne. Thank
Avril
you.
Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne.
So we're going to be diving into the life of Avril Lavigne. Now, there are many people that believe she's been missing from the lights of Hollywood for many years and has instead been replaced with a body double to blind people from the truth that she is in fact missing.
Yeah. I hope that it's just that she's like in hiding. Like, if they actually replaced her and it's not the same person, I hope she's just like in hiding somewhere.
All right, so we have a ton of background, and honestly, in the background, we kind of talk about a lot of the theories, and then we
Okay.
just kind of rehash them at the end.
Okay.
So, to jump right in, we got to kind of learn about Avril Lavigne because some of you guys might not know who this is. I mean, except for my wonderful rendition of her song. I thought it was like hardcore, spot
She
on.
has some bangers.
And she recently like dropped some new stuff
Yeah.
that is just like her old stuff, and it's so good.
Because for a while there,
I shouldn't say recently; it's been like a year, but
some of her like newer stuff, not like the newest, but like stuff in the middle was
it was kind of eh.
it didn't hit the same way. But her early stuff, like that was 2000s movie soundtrack worthy.
It was like grungy teenager music.
Yes, I thrived on that in middle school.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the I hate my parents
It
and
was spot on.
rock and roll.
She was kind of like the bridge between pop music and rock and roll.
Yes, and like a healthy bridge, like
Yeah.
a bridge where like I could thrive on it. Because sometimes rock and roll, I'm like it's a little intense.
It's like moody music.
Yeah, and sometimes pop is just too pop.
Anyways, Avril Lavigne is a Canadian singer that really started rising in popularity around 2002 when she released her now multi-platinum album Let Go, which has that song that I sang beautifully in it. Since then, Lavigne has released 7 more studio albums as well as many singles, music videos, and extended cuts of her music. So she's kind of has like a pretty good Easter egg of stuff.
Yeah, she has a decent amount.
This alone really helped her rise in popularity to the public. However, what we are going to dive into is not just her singing background, but what is thought to have happened to her.
All right.
I know.
That's yeah. It's hard because people
And really, there's only about like 3 theories that we're going to kind of look into.
and people of the internet truly like die hard believe
Think.
that it is not the same person.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. I could definitely see it being a different person, but I'm like, well, what happened to the original?
Correct.
That's where it gets me. Because, like, I don't care if it's a different person. I mean, I feel bad, like, if the first one died. But, like, there's really not a lot of conspiracy of, like, where the other one went. It's kind of like, we just think it's a new person. And I'm like, okay, but where's the first
And
one?
you're like, well, why? Okay, so we're looking at what is thought to have happened to her. Can you not yawn so loudly into your microphone? It's very
I
obnoxious.
thought you'd like that.
We're doing conspiracy at night.
Oh, am I keeping the yawn in there?
So Taylor's a little tired.
Literally all conspiracies.
Wake up, bitch! Literally, you
Wake
usually
up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
Grab my glasses, I'm out the door.
I'm about to hit the city. Brush
Before
my
I
teeth.
leave,
Oh,
brush
fuck.
my teeth with the bottle of Jack. And when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back.
I'm talking
about
pedicure on my toes, trying on all my clothes.
Boys blowing up my phone. Drop top and playing our favorite CDs, blowing up to the parties, trying to get a little bit tipsy.
Don't stop, make it.
You're gonna cut that, right?
Oh no, I'm gonna keep that whole. Because mind you, when I first started it, I'm like, this is Avril. I'm like, this is Kesha.
It's totally Kesha.
I just sit there and I'm like, I know the words. Then you sing it. I'm like, I don't know the words.
Yeah.
Thought I knew the words. Don't know the words. All right, sorry. I don't even know what tangent it came off of.
I don't know. I think
Oh,
you had started
it was
saying
late night
something.
at podcast.
Oh yeah, podcast at night.
And then I
Taylor's
somehow
tired.
went into a Kesha song.
I don't know. It's random. All right, so we're looking at what has happened to her. It's thought that Avril Lavigne's rise to fame at such a young age, because she was only 17 at the time that she dropped that 2002 album that was so successful.
I guess I knew she was a teenager, but I guess I never really assumed her actual age.
Yeah, I mean, 17's pretty young.
Yeah. And especially, yeah. And she, I feel like, gained fame very quickly.
Yeah, like she
Because
dropped
she
that
was so
and
successful.
it was like an instant success.
It's one thing to, like, drop it and then, like, it's not really cared
A
about.
couple months later.
And then, like, like,
there she
she's in her
is.
20s and it's finally, like, it's gaining traction.
Yeah.
But she got it, like, right away.
All right, so they think that because she rose to fame so quickly at a young age that it was very, very overwhelming for her.
Oh, I could only imagine.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot to take on. I mean, can you think back to high school and then all of a sudden...
Being 17 and being thrust into the spotlight, I would have been like, what on earth is happening?
I feel like it'd be different if you were, like, a child star and, like, you were just always...
You were born up into it?
Yeah, like, if you were a child, like, actress. And, like, from 5 years old on, you just have always been in the limelight. But at 17, that's a lot to take on.
Yeah.
That's a lot to be thrown into. And then, just handle it.
Here you go.
You're fine.
Figure it out.
You're a mega superstar now. Get on stage. Don't have any stage fright. Figure it out.
You got it. So originally living an ordinary life in Belleville, Canada, to all of a sudden being expected to make appearances at red carpet events, it was just too much for her. So her management team is thought to have hired a body double that could do all the public relations stuff so that Lavigne could remain relatively sheltered and still rather innocent.
So still alive.
Correct.
But had a double to kind of do all the press work.
Correct. Lavigne supposedly met the soon-to-be new body double. Her name was Melissa Vandella in 2003.
All right. Wait, when did she blow up?
2002.
Okay, so literally
A year.
Okay.
So they were probably just trying to figure out who they could select that looked relatively similar.
Within a year. Gotcha.
It's said that from that point on, the two, Lavigne and Vandella, formed a strong friendship. So, like, they communicated, they had a relationship, not like a intimate relationship.
But a friendship.
Yes. And formed a super strong friendship. And then from then on, Vandella would appear as the pop singer at many events, like red carpets, doing daily tasks while getting photographed by paparazzi, and lots of other things.
Okay.
There are even some sources that stated Lavigne helped Vandella develop her vocals to be able to even sing like her.
Oh, like if maybe put on the spot
Correct.
to do so?
She could do something.
Oh, this is like a Hannah Montana situation.
I know. 2 lives.
This is like Miley Cyrus versus Hannah Montana.
But instead, she's just new person.
Yeah. But my only thing is, like, she must have had a home that was quite secluded. Because...
And I don't know. I didn't look up if Belleville, Canada is like a big city or if it's relatively small.
But I just feel like your neighbors would like, oh, Avril's
oh my
home.
God, that's Avril
Like, I
Lavigne.
just saw her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. But no, kind of like a Hannah Montana thing.
Mhm.
I'm all about this.
Love Hannah. So shortly after the introduction of Vandella, Lavigne lost her grandfather.
Ooh, yikes.
I know. It was like in that year 2003 is when Grandpa passed away.
Has it ever actually been confirmed by management that they hired a body double? Or is this assumed?
This is assumed.
Okay, I just want to clear that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Lavigne took her grandfather's death pretty hard, and it's believed that after the loss of her grandfather, her grief began to kind of eat her alive and ultimately led to her committing suicide.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. How old would she have been?
18.
Oh, it was that next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe 19, depending on when the
It fell.
border flipped, but
Mm.
However, it was Lavigne's record label that did not want to lose any profits because their new top performing artist had killed herself. So, what they did
Yeah.
instead is kind of maddening. Instead of letting the fans mourn the loss of this young pop star, they did instead was a full revamp of Lavigne, now having Vandella be the face and the voice of the star.
I don't like that.
It's just seems wrong.
That feels really icky.
And then if you're Lavigne's family,
Yeah.
like to be like, oh yeah, they're still saying, oh, it's my kid, and it's really not my kid.
I feel like if I were the parents, I would have wanted to step out and been like, don't lie about this.
But then again, if they're getting money kickbacks,
I don't know if they're getting money kickbacks or if they're on some
I
sort
don't know
of
how they couldn't.
that or like a gag order. They have like legal stuff in
I
place.
cannot imagine that they would not be getting some form of money. Otherwise, yeah, I would come out and be like, that's not her.
I would assume there's payment, but I also feel like they probably have some sort of legality stuff going on because
like signed into a contract.
Yeah, because eventually I feel like the parents would be like, enough's enough. Our daughter's not alive.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be salty about it.
I would. It would make me uncomfortable.
I mean, even getting money kickbacks, I'd still be like, that's not really her.
Yeah, I don't think I would have ever signed on to something, which makes me think that something might have been in place prior to that.
Thanks to the help of Lavigne, Vandella now not only looked like Avril, but was also able to sing, behave, and for the most part perform just as the late star had. Some other events that led people to believe Avril had been replaced is the fact that there are 2 songs specifically on her next album that had lots of subliminal messaging.
Really?
Yeah. The album artwork of her second album, which would have been new Avril Lavigne's album,
Yeah.
it was called Under My Skin, and there was lots of kind of, they say in the album artwork there was subliminal messaging that it wasn't really the real Avril Lavigne and it was this new Avril Lavigne.
Okay.
And then there's also a couple songs, some of them being My Happy Ending, The Best Years of Our Lives, and Together. They all have subliminal messaging regarding Avril's replacement from Hollywood. And there are many points in this album where Melissa confesses that she isn't the real Avril.
I don't like
Not
that.
in specific words, but in subliminal messaging.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel right.
So there's definitely kind of been some stuff.
But I also...
And mind you, people are definitely pulling
Oh, yeah.
to make the connections,
Yes,
but when you
'cause
hear them, it's kind of like, yeah, I
Well,
could see it.
It's like when you believe it so hard that you're like, well, I can make anything.
Correct.
Oh, they're doing her hair like this and like anything.
It's like Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson. They all think that
Yes.
like they had a relationship in one direction, which I could totally see.
Based on these people that are so obsessed with it,
I-
yes.
They're called Larry, and like I could totally ship Larry, but of course their PR team's like, don't even look at each other.
Yeah,
You can't look like you like each other.
And
I'm
the
like,
hard part is I feel like
if they had a relationship, who the hell cares?
and even if they didn't, I feel like they were just such great friends.
Yeah.
And then the public took it and ran with it.
And was like, you're in a relationship, and it's like maybe they were just besties.
And then like their PR team was like, you can't even be friends anymore.
I know,
like
it's so sad.
don't sit by each other in interviews, don't look at each other, don't talk to each other. And I'm like, you just ruined a good friendship because I love fans, but you have crazy fans
Yeah.
that like go above and beyond and go
totally kind
they're
of wreck it.
dating. And I'm like, 1, who cares if they are? 2, they might just be best friends and you've now just fucked their entire friendship.
I know, and now it's like you can't be by each other.
Yeah. So I just feel like some people take it a little too far.
So Harry and Louis, if you're secretly together, send me a secret message. I won't tell anybody, but it'll definitely ease my mind.
One of you just text us the word Larry, we'll get it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope.
I'd be like, oh, I'll never tell anyone because that's your private business, but that would make me happy because I always thought that they were together.
Well, I'll tell you, but I won't tell anybody else.
Yeah. We'll blink back and forth. Morse code. They're together.
All right.
If we were on camera, you would have saw that we did like a Morse code blink.
Which is a blink, in case you're wondering.
But before you keep going, the other thing I wanted to comment on is who's the Morrison? Is that what you said? The new girl? Or the body double? Is that-
Melissa? Mandela?
Melissa. I think that, okay, if Avril really did kill herself, I don't think as Melissa, I would consciously be able to step up there and be like, I'm Avril when someone killed themselves and I'm
Well,
pretending
she
to be
was
them.
already pretending to be her.
I know, but now that they're dead, I think I would have a harder time with it. Because before, it sounds like
She might have been locked into a contract, though.
that's the only thing, is if she's contracted for it. But I sit there and I'm like, before it was fine because Avril wanted
She was
that.
still there, and she was still the
Yes.
voice behind the face.
Exactly. And now I'm like, Avril's dead. And now I'm just supposed to continue lying to the public and pretending. Because she could have easily just been like, you guys, the couple years that she was in the limelight, I was her body double because the public was too much for her. She could have easily stepped up and been famous in her own right because she had the talent.
Correct.
So I have a hard time of like, I'm pretending to be a dead girl.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's not a good feeling. And I've said not a good feeling like 3 times, but that's fine. That's, I guess, the saying I'm sticking to this episode.
Ewy.
Ew.
You could change it to ew. That took a turn. The beginning of this theory actually didn't start arising until 2011. So 2003 is when they say Avril died.
Almost 10 years later.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really long time. Like, what the hell were we doing? Well, then again, internet wasn't super big.
Correct. I mean, 2003, like...
Internet was literally invented in, like, 1998. I was alive when the internet was created.
Cray.
Which is freaking crazy. When I tell my kids in the future, I don't have kids now, but in the future when I hopefully have children.
I was alive before internet.
I'm be like, I was around when there was nothing.
I mean, I remember when Mom had, like, a Nokia phone.
I know.
Remember the bricks?
The brick, and then she put it in that safety case, and I'm like, honey, you could chuck that and run it over.
That baby don't need no safety case.
You don't need it. Not worth it.
But it was the cleanest phone ever. You took it out of there. I'm like, wow, this baby's pristine.
It had one game on it, and it was Snake.
Oh, I don't remember any of that.
You
I just
literally
remember the chonker.
The snake would go around the phone. You had to eat dots, but you couldn't go off the screen because then you died.
Oh.
It was the only game on the phone. It was wicked.
I did not play any of that.
But you weren't a phone person, but those were the phones that
where
you had to text and
click like
if
3
you
times
wanted the
to get
letter
A.
Z, you had to click 4 times to get the letter Z, and you had to be dedicated to that message. I know that is why texting had all the abbreviations, because you had to click a button 4 fucking times or 3 times to get a certain letter that you're like, it's not worth it. The letter U stands for YOU. Because it's just not worth it.
You get one letter, we aren't spelling her out.
That is why there's texting lingo, because it is too hard. And now
TTYL.
Kids are just like, why
are you using that?
My students have asked, like, why do you type the letter U? Why don't you spell it? And in my heart of hearts, I'm going, you spell out YOU when you text? And they're like, yeah, but I'm also like, they have a digital phone.
It's easier.
And I'm like, well, when I was a kid, and mind you, I didn't have a phone as a kid, but Mom had a phone. And I remember if you wanted to text, you had to click it so many times. And explaining that to my students is wild, because they haven't even seen a cell phone like that.
Like a flip phone?
So I have to pull up a photo and show them that each letter has so many.
This is what it looks like. Even some of my high schoolers don't really remember flip phones. I'm like, flip phones were like my childhood.
And I was always jealous. We weren't allowed to have phones, but I always wanted the Razor.
I always wanted the one where you'd turn it sideways and then slip it up and
it
had the full keyboard.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
No, Lauren had a phone that it would, if you turned it on its side, it would shuffle up, and you had a full keyboard, but then when you closed it, you could turn it right side up, and you could shuffle it up, and it had the number pad, so it shuffled 2 ways.
God, that's just something that's going to break.
It was pink, and I was so jealous. I wanted that phone in the worst way, because I'm like, oh my God, it's a 2 shuffle way phone, and those were like really new, but the problem is,
I feel like the tracks would get
It wasn't even that. It was that by the time that got popular, iPhones dropped.
Oh.
So, like, it was cool.
People just went right to the iPhone, though.
It was cool for a while, but so many people went from, like, their single shuffle phone right to the iPhone.
Yeah.
And that one never took off. Shuffle. Yeah. It didn't take off as big because it wasn't out long enough prior to the iPhone.
Yeah.
But now that we have gone down 50 different rabbit holes.
Yeah.
Given our aunt whiplash.
Oh, that this didn't really blow up till 2011.
Yes.
The reason it blew up is because a Brazilian blog called Avril Lavigne, which translates to Avril is dead.
Shut up, really?
So that's literally the name of the blog, is Avril Lavigne, which is Avril is dead.
Okay.
This is what led to a lot of conversations that we've been having, that the theory gained even more popularity in 2017 when Vandella appeared in a photo shoot for Avril's newest album with the word Melissa written on her hand.
No way.
Yeah.
Do you have a photo?
No, I did
Google
not.
this. This is the most recent album?
It says Avril's newest album with the word Melissa. If you look up Avril with Melissa on hand, you should find it.
Do you think she was just doing it as like a, haha, you guys all think this?
I don't know. It might have been part of the subliminal messaging.
No. She totally does. And it's front and center on the album.
Isn't that just creepy?
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that at all.
And I need to make a correction. It wasn't 2017. Well, I guess it gained even more popularity in 2017, but that was from 2003.
I don't
with that new album artwork. That's the album artwork.
From 2003?
Correct. That's the album artwork from 2003.
It took us that long as a public to finally.
Well, I don't think we had connected all of the dots.
Okay, it just took a
Yeah.
while, and then when the dots were connected, they're like, "Holy shit, she's been telling us."
That's when it blew up.
Do you think that was her way of going, "I'm Melissa"?
Maybe that was her announcement of it. It's me.
Really, it's not Avril, it's Melissa.
Yeah.
I hate that name. I'm sorry if you have the name Melissa.
Melissa, that's because Melissa from Dance Moms
Ugh.
ruined it. Which, I mean, I love Dance Moms, but Melissa is a bitch on there.
Well, Melissa just...
She's an ass kisser.
She's a huge ass kisser, but I felt so bad for Mackenzie.
I know.
She just favored
But now
her one
she's way more
daughter.
popular than Maddie, so.
And the thing is, like, I have a... Like, watching Dance Moms, hated Maddie. But
oh, yeah, but that's because Abby
favored
loved her.
But the thing is, now as an adult, Maddie seems like the most genuine person.
Yeah, she does.
But I'm like, that mother favored one child and just completely forgot she had a second one.
Oh, I know.
And then, mind you, when all the other moms would be like, I love both my daughters. And then they would all be like, no, you don't. You clearly don't.
You might say you love them, but you definitely favor one.
Oh, God. I hate the name Melissa because of Melissa. I don't even know. What's her last name? Melissa
I
Ziegler?
think it's like Gisani.
Oh, she got remarried. Yeah, no.
Digga.
I hate the name Melissa because of her.
Yeah.
Sorry. Another side tangent. Keep going.
So yeah, she had the word Melissa written on her hand. The PR team began using many different aspects of subliminal messaging, which we kind of already talked about, over the next couple albums, with album artwork and then her overall appearance, just to kind of stir up controversy over the possibility of Avril being replaced.
I will say, just based on Googling right there and typing Melissa, I think a lot of some of the photos I kept scrolling and looking, her image, not that her image drastically changed, but her image did change a little bit.
Yeah.
Like her hair lightened.
Color,
Yeah. It still stayed blonde, but it was like, it's almost like they bleached it.
And,
it got lighter.
And some of the texture of it, like when she was a kid, it was like stick straight. And mind you, that might just be maturing and your hair follicle changes a little bit.
Oh, 100%.
But the color of it definitely changed. The way she wore it, when she was a kid, she wore it like in her eyes almost.
It was almost
that
like
was
punk.
That was part of her punk image, I felt.
She was more of like a punk rocker. I think she was going for like that gothic image.
Yeah.
And then
the eye makeup definitely stayed the same over the entire course of the
always,
always had thick,
heavy, dark eyeliner.
Yep.
No, I would definitely agree that over the time, and the thing is, normally when you have an aesthetic, you tend to stick with an aesthetic.
Correct.
And
she was like, are born to love.
Yes. She always reminded me of the older sister from the Thornberrys that wore her hair in front of her eye.
I don't really remember the Thornberrys.
Oh, I loved that movie.
Mom loves that movie.
It was a TV show, but there was also the Thornberrys movie. But no, the older sister had blonde hair and always wore it over one eye. But she also was punk rocker. Okay. She wore like a green flannel and then like ripped jeans. And she walked around and the world was just always out to get her.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
good girl.
Now I really want to watch that show.
I know. I'm gonna have to
where
figure
can
out where
I stream that? Again, another tangent. I'm so sorry to anyone listening.
I'm not. It's part of the process, baby. In addition to the Avril S. the Morta blog, there were also several other internet blogs that kind of addressed this controversy, one of them being called ATRL. Literally, it's just the letters and they're all capital. They made a post in 2012. 2012.
All right.
So 1 year after it kind of started blowing up.
Okay,
so it blew up in 2011.
Were all these other blogs starting to develop after that initial blog?
Correct.
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
No, they all kind of started piling onto what was already said with Avril S. the Morta.
Okay.
What this one did though was slightly different. So they did this by posting a photograph of Avril buying cheese at like a grocery store.
Okay.
So they got a picture of Avril buying cheese.
All right.
However, at the same time, it was publicly known that Avril was currently battling Lyme's disease.
I did hear about. I remember when she was battling that, like she came out eventually going, I can finally make music again because she had been like deathly sick.
Correct. Where like she couldn't leave. Like
no, was in bed 23 hours a day.
Correct.
And that 1 other hour might have been eating
bathroom
something,
breaks,
bathroom. No, I remember that.
So she was out and about, perfectly well health, buying cheese at a grocery store, and it was photographed, and then it was also during this exact same time when she was supposedly like damn near dying from Lyme's disease.
Okay. I do remember that she dropped a fire album after she got better.
I know.
Holy shit, was that a good album?
So my big thing is like, how can you be in two places at once?
Yeah.
So that was another thing that really stirred up.
So wait.
They took more of the stance of like, she's not dead, she's still living, but she's in another area.
Oh, so we're saying she didn't commit suicide.
Correct.
Okay,
so
now
like
I'm
she's
understanding.
living in the shadows of Melissa while Melissa kind of does all her PR.
Oh, okay, so this isn't a different theory that
Cor-
she never killed herself.
Correct.
She's still living her life. Melissa's out battling her for her life because she's sick.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Like, that is what ATRL went with.
Okay, that makes sense. For a second there, I'm like, are you saying that like she flew like to a different place and was noticed? But no, I got it. Okay, 2 theories. Got it.
Yeah. And then the last thing we're going to dive into before we kind of jump back into theories, and I've got quite a bit here,
Okay.
is the inequities in Lavigne's appearance over the years, which we've kind of already touched on a little bit.
Yeah.
The biggest change was in the photo shoot in that 2003 where
Yeah.
she had her Melissa written across her hand.
Uh-huh. That I don't like that. That I'm sorry, that is like she's either poking fun at it or she's essentially telling you I am Melissa.
Yeah.
It's one or the
kind
other.
of, but again, it was a huge album where there was tons of subliminal messaging, not only in the artwork, but
Yeah.
also in the songs.
And the hard part is like we didn't connect these dots till 10 plus years later.
I know.
So it's like if they were
It
trying
obviously
to
wasn't that great of subliminal messaging if it took us this long.
Yes.
That or they didn't want us to figure it out.
But you almost wonder if they like put a plant out there. And when I say plant, I mean they had someone like just mention it somewhere online like, "Hey, this isn't the actual
looks
Avril."
weird.
Yeah, like they put someone out somewhere online just to like
just to stir up
to
stuff
stir it up.
to boost album sales.
It's something. Like, "Oh, it was a body double all along." Like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And we kind of already touched on this, but like Lavigne's makeup regimen, it seemed to stay the same with the thick dark eyeliner, the hooded hair, but that is really kind of what changed is the hairstyle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people tend to like stick to of like her hair changed so much and like yes, hair can change.
it can change, but like she definitely would have lightened it cuz it is a lot. It's like more bleach blonde.
Correct. She started and it was like almost brown when she first started out.
It's like a very dirty blonde.
And I know that people in Hollywood can change their appearance with plastic surgery and with
100%.
spa treatments, but
And like the eyes, I would say her eye makeup has stayed the same. Eye color looks very, very similar.
and mind you, her PR team would have done a damn good job finding somebody that looks almost exactly the same.
Oh, did a flawless job. I will give you that. One sec. I want to actually see a better side. And the hard part is like when you look at the side by side that I'm looking at,
They
I'm
look
like,
similar.
they look so similar to the fact that like
The teeth.
well the one her younger self, she's not smiling with teeth, but like even her nose, the one side of her nose has like a crease in it, and the other side does too. So like that's what would make me believe that it's the same person.
Yeah. I saw a couple pictures where her teeth looked very, very similar. And I'm like, yes, you can find somebody that has similar teeth, but
The one other thing is where it's a little different for me that I would believe that maybe it is 2 different people is her upper lip. Her upper lip, from what I'm assuming is the real Avril, is like not puffy because her lips aren't big by any means, but it's a very just like distinct and like what is this? The Cupid's bow.
yeah.
The Cupid's bow is very normal, but then on the other one, the Cupid's bow is like almost pointy, and she
super,
has
super
like
high.
no upper lip. So I could definitely see it being 2 separate people.
Okay.
I just wish that like
I wish
had-
there was more photographic evidence.
like someone like slipped like they slipped up and they were outside at the same time together.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. Just like, ha, we knew
down,
it.
Walking down the same street, I'd be like, oh my god.
And I'm sure that like if there are 2 people, they've never made that mistake.
No,
that,
absolutely not.
Like you just would not be allowed to have that. But you almost wish by accident that they were just like, fuck. You showed up to Target when I'm at Target. Don't you know it's my day to shop? Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
That'd be funny.
Oh my god. And the hard part is, I mean, with the entire podcast that we have, the hard part is that we will likely never have answers to anything that we talk about.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
It's very rare that it fully wraps up.
Well, it's like we sit there and every topic we have, we will likely never have an answer to. And that's really tricky for me. I'm hoping that all these people, like the Simpsons writer, I hope he comes out with a book.
Oh my god. And be
and
like,
the book drops when he dies.
It's just got like pages upon pages of, hey, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen.
And then like Avril comes out and goes, haha, I've always been alive, but hey, look it, this is my bestie Melissa. And
Psych.
I hope all these people come out with things. And
That'd be pretty cool.
the one that's hard, and we recorded it the other night and we cried, but like I don't think we'll ever have an answer to Matthew Perry because the Illuminati is going to keep that shit under lock and key.
A
in your head.
medium that can communicate with Matthew Perry.
I know.
Can
It's
you
so
please figure out
sad.
what happened? because I don't think it was an OD.
I don't think he OD'd. And the hard part is like the evidence that's out there really points towards he made a deal with a group of people, Illuminati or not. He made a group of or he made a deal with a
rough group,
a secret society of a sort. And
all this has taught me is that I don't want to be in Hollywood.
no,
The shit that seems to go down, I just don't want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Other things that were noticed by conspiracy theorists was Lavigne's behavior. So not only was her appearance slightly different, the way she behaved also changed a little bit.
How so?
So from 2003 to 2013, so kind of in that realm when she first disappeared or supposedly disappeared to a little bit after this theory blew up. Lavigne originally started her Hollywood journey. She was very reserved at red carpet events. She wouldn't smile. She would hardly pose for pictures and just overall didn't always look like she was enjoying herself.
I feel like this could go one of two ways. I feel like it could go that she's depressed and just extremely unhappy and like
maybe
don't pay attention to me. Or if it was a body double and we go off that theory, it's the I can't be noticed. They can't take photos because they'll see differences.
Correct.
So like I feel like it could go either way with that.
Yeah. Fast forward to 2013 and we look at her now on red carpet events.
In 2013.
Yes.
Okay.
She's completely changed her persona. So now when we look at photos of her, she's smiling, she's communicating with others, and overall just looking very, very confident, which is a drastic difference from her in 2003. Now, these could be just because she's constantly being exposed to the public eye and she's gotten used to it.
Yeah.
And she's become a lot more comfortable with it. So I could see that argument.
Yeah.
But I could also see that it's now somebody new.
I could see it both ways. That
and maybe
she's had time to grieve.
She didn't always get like coached on like, hey, the real Avril Lavigne doesn't really smile and show for the cameras like you're doing.
Yes, exactly. I could definitely see with everything you present, I could see it as the actual Avril or the body double Avril.
Yeah.
I could see it both ways.
I could see it flip both ways.
Yes. That's the hard part with some of these conspiracies is like they can go so many different ways and it's believable.
I mean, my big thing is though, like Lavigne built her whole brand on the fact that she was essentially like a moody teenager.
Yes, she did.
So to all of a sudden completely alter her appearance and completely alter her behavior at these events.
That's the hard part.
She's totally changing her brand. So she's going to change her following.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, her music still sounds similar, but like her behaviors were very, very different.
Yeah. And I mean, there's a part of me that's like maybe she wanted to make connection, but then like you said, she's built this brand on being moody. And
like to all of a sudden change it. And mind you,
drastically change it.
Over the course of 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, so.
Then again, you kind of also sit there and it's like, Taylor Swift, my favorite. She's also...
Well, she changed a lot.
She's changed...
But like appearance-wise, she still looks relatively similar.
I shouldn't even say that because like her appearance has changed. Like she's cut her hair and she has bangs and she went through during Reputation. She like bleached it so it was really really blonde. So like yes, she's changed her appearance, but like I feel like her as a person has always been the same. She has always been that loving and kind person that like she would give you the shirt off her back, and like she's been known for that. So it's not like she was a moody teenager and like changed it.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift has kind of always been the same. If anything, I feel like she went in hiatuses and went quiet. So I mean, maybe like there is the possibility
kind of in the same realm.
You could change, but I feel like it's not typical.
Now, Avril Lavigne herself, quotations,
we're saying Melissa.
Either.
Oh, okay.
We don't know.
Okay.
They've responded to these theories many times in many interviews. However,
shut up.
She's never outright stated that it's not true.
What has she said?
So in a Facebook live stream in 2017, Avril responded to a fan who asked if she was dead by stating, "No, I'm not dead. I'm here. People are just bored and need something to talk about." So didn't outright say that's not true.
Okay. So she could be alive, but it could have been Avril on the live stream.
It might be.
And then like she's like, but I'm not saying I don't have a body double that goes in public for me.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I don't like that.
There's also been many other interviews since this point where she's kind of responded in a similar fashion. One of the most recent interviews was on Entertainment Tonight. So like she's made like
public statements.
Big statements on relatively large sites.
Yeah.
She's been on quite a few podcasts, and again, it's always the similar, "No, like I'm here."
Dude, let's show Avril out. Avril, come on our podcast. Yeah. Let's confirm it for people.
Like, please, we promise.
And guess what, Avril? If you're not actually Avril and you're Melissa, I will gladly keep your secret. I'm not about to undo.
She's here.
It's like the Hannah Montana. I will never tell your secret. We'll just tell the public, yeah, this is Avril. Wink, wink. It's Melissa.
She's here.
But Melissa's my new bestie.
Heck yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be so cool. I hope one day, and I know it's probably like way in the future, but I'd love to have a guest on a podcast. I'm not saying I need like the Taylor Swift.
We just don't have the setup at the moment.
Oh, no. But I think eventually with time, we'll have a setup that we could host a guest. But I'm like, I want to be cool enough that like, even if the guest is like, Mom, I don't care who the guest is. I just want a guest.
Welcome to the podcast, Amy.
I don't know how the setup would work if like we present it and she just has commentary with us.
Yeah.
But I want to have a guest on my podcast eventually. I want to get big enough to have Joe Santagato and Frankie. But what
are they gonna come and like talk conspiracies with us?
I don't know. But okay, first of all, Frankie. I think Frankie would be all about it. Have you not seen where
no,
literally
I don't watch it.
Oh, they have, it's not like the podcast one, but Joe will do like different conspiracy talks and like you'll see him throughout like a short video, like he has a tinfoil hat and then like his plant behind him's in tinfoil. So Frankie and Joe would totally talk podcasts with us, but I love them both so much.
All right, so we're jumping into some theories.
All right, let's hear the theories.
Mind you, we've already discussed quite a few. We're just going to kind of dig a little deeper.
And talk about each one?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The first theory is going to look back at her initial rise to fame when she was only 17. Obviously, her publicity team saw that she was struggling and decided to combat a way to have her voice still be heard without the blinding lights of Hollywood kind of shocking her.
It's a lot to take on.
They did this by providing Lavigne a body double by using Melissa Vandella.
Okay.
Now, there are multiple different ways that this theory could kind of turn. One possible way is that Lavigne is still living in the shadows, utilizing her singing voice while Vandella experiences constant paparazzi interactions, sold out shows, and kind of being the face of Avril's brand.
My thing is there a paper trail of this Melissa person? Was there someone named Melissa, whatever her name is? Vandella? Was she in Hollywood as like a background actor?
Not that
actress?
I'm aware of.
If someone went to school with her and you listen to this podcast, like I want to know, is there a paper trail that follows this girl?
I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there named Melissa Vandella.
There's got to be somewhere, but like there has to be a trail that follows both these people.
I mean, there's a couple Sammy Captains.
Oh well, yeah, but I'm just,
and I
you know what I mean.
I'm pretty unique.
But like, if you were Melissa and you looked exactly like Avril,
yeah, I feel like people would notice and be like, yeah, like I went to school with a girl named Melissa Vandella,
exactly.
and she kind of looks similar to her, so I can see it.
That's what I'm saying is like there has to be a trail that led them to where they were in that point in their life.
Yeah,
because were they saying that Melissa was the exact same age?
I don't know if she was the exact same age. She might have been a little older.
I would be curious to figure that out. Like, are we saying that they were both 17 at the same time?
Or was she like 5-6 years older?
Exactly, yeah.
Because then we're looking at a totally different demographic.
Yeah, but no, if you have any inkling that you went to school with this Melissa girl, I want, just send me a DM. Yeah. Like I said, we don't need to talk about it on the podcast. I just want to know. I need confirmation.
Conspiracies don't get confirmation.
I know, and that's so hard.
All right, so that's the one way this part of the theory could go, is that she's still alive.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah, someone's backing out. Nice. The light caught my eye.
Okay, so that she's still alive and Vandella is making her appearances for her.
Okay.
The other way this theory could go is that after her initial rise to fame, her publicity team pulled her from the spotlight, replaced her with Vandella. However, it was her grandfather's death shortly after that proved too much for Avril Lavigne.
That's so sad.
This is what pushed her to take her own life a short time after. Yet her publicity team did not want to experience any revenue loss, so they closeted Lavigne's death and instead rebranded using Vandella. Now, thanks to the friendship with Lavigne, she was able to behave, perform, and sing pretty much in the exact same way that Lavigne had.
And the hard part I have with this theory is the people in Hollywood can be very evil people.
I know.
And they want money.
And I could totally see them doing it.
That's the hard part. Is like they would be like, I don't give a shit if she died. This is how we make our money.
Like we need funding, especially because
you're now Avril.
She was such a huge person at that point in time.
And
like 2002, she probably would have been prepping for her tour for her first album.
Yep. That's tricky because if Avril and Melissa were really great friends, Melissa just lost a best friend.
I know.
Like you just lost someone.
You'd be grieving yourself.
Exactly. And like, how do you keep moving on?
Just be like, you gotta go to a red carpet.
What they probably did is they're like, Melissa, you're grieving the loss of your grandpa. And they probably just played it off like that when really she was grieving the loss of Avril.
Yeah.
So they probably just played it off as like a family death. Like, oh, your grandpa died. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But really, she's like, I'm grieving the loss of a best friend that I've worked so closely with
For
for
the
over
last
a
year.
year. Like, that's the hard part. And I could totally see Hollywood going, we need money.
Buck up, camper. You got to get out there.
Put a smile on your face. Figure it out.
Fake it.
I don't like that theory, but I could see both theories working out.
Yeah.
Both, yeah.
The second theory is relatively simple. It's that Avril Lavigne has been herself all along.
I would like to believe that.
The arguments that she looks different or behaves different are simply that of a young adult maturing and developing in Hollywood.
I like that theory. I hope it's that theory. I truly do hope.
I could see it being that.
Like, and that maybe just over time she's changed her appearance.
She changed her hair. She got more comfortable in the spotlight, so she was able to kind of make those transitions.
Exactly, because we had talked about not even 20 minutes ago, Taylor Swift made change. I mean, when Taylor Swift started, she had long, blonde, curly hair. Taylor Swift no longer keeps her curls.
Correct.
I mean, she does when she performs, and it starts to go curly.
And her hair has changed so much over the course of her career.
I mean, and it was super long. And then for a while, she kind of kept it like shoulder length, and then she totally bobbed it and bleached it blonde.
Yep.
She gave herself bangs.
Wasn't that red?
No, she bleached it for Reputation.
But it was the bob?
It was like a little past her shoulder, but she got bangs for red. And then she started straightening it. She kept it curly all the way through Speak Now, and then in Red is when we started to see the straight hair. But like, you can change your appearance. Other celebrities have shown us that. So I could totally see Avril just being herself. And over time, she is just kind of morphed a bit.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case.
I'm like, Hollywood changes people a little bit.
And the thing is, like,
some people a lot of bit.
She showed that moody side of her, and guess what? She was a teenager and that was thrown into the spotlight. She had lost her grandpa.
And in her music, she still sounds the same.
Yeah.
Like, her overall music preference, music choice, has been relatively the same.
Yeah.
Like, she still sounds grungy,
moody teenager.
Kind of rock.
Yeah. So I could definitely see any of the three. I really, for her sake, I hope it's just Avril. And I hope that there was never a body
it's really
double.
me, guys. And you're like, you're lying.
Like, that's the thing.
It's not you, it's Melissa.
Yeah. Like, we're just pushing this on her. And the thing is, if she was a moody teenager and she was angry about it, I could have seen her put Melissa on there just to stir shit up.
Be like, yo, what's up?
Like,
here's Melissa.
Just to make people, like, mad or, like, not know.
Like, I knew it was you.
Exactly. So, like, as a moody teenager that just kind of wants to pull one over on the public, I could see Avril do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Another thing I found, like, super interesting as I was researching was that this was not the only time Avril Lavigne was rumored to be dead.
Shut up, really?
I kid you not. In 2013, there was a whole separate death hoax that stated Lavigne had died in a snowboarding accident at the Whistler ski resort.
Oh, God. So, this woman has faced multiple deaths.
Yeah. I mean, I just found it funny that she is one person and has experienced
this many times
multiple.
She's killed herself and
rumors.
died in a snowboard accident.
It's like, yeah, I guess I'm still here.
She's like a cat with 9 lives. She's got 7 left.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
So, what do you think really happened to Avril Lavigne? Was she replaced with her body double so she could live stress-free back in Canada? She was replaced with her body double because she killed herself due to the grief from her grandfather's passing? Or was it really her all along?
I think me personally, I would like to believe it's her all along. But I could see any of the 3 being true. I'd like to think that
there wasn't one theory in this where I was like,
it's this
probably
one.
I can rule that one out.
Like, if it can't be number 3 where it's been her all along, I really hope it's number 1
and that she's still alive.
Yes,
she's not dead.
That she's living her life comfortably and quietly while she pays a body double to go out and do all the stuff that she's not comfortable doing.
Well, and then my thing's like, does she still do her shows?
I would assume she probably does her shows.
Because she's the voice of it all.
I think that she just doesn't want to have to do, like, the red carpets,
the day-to-day
photo
life.
shoots. She wants to be able to go out and perform because normally when you are someone that's in music, the love of it is performing and having the energy of the crowd. Yeah. So I would assume that she does her shows, but, like, the PR and all that.
Paparazzi and all that crap, I'd be like, no.
Hand that off.
Yeah,
like, why? If you don't have to.
That's my cup of tea right there.
Yeah. And especially if she is someone that suffers from anxiety or that's just not something she's comfortable with.
Yeah.
What a nice way of being able to be like, I can have the best of both worlds.
Bye.
I am the OG Hannah Montana.
Honestly, that's like the life she's living if that is the situation.
Yeah. So I hope it's 1 or 3. I really hope she's not dead. I hope that there wasn't a suicide because that would be tricky. That'd
be tough. That'd be sad.
So hopefully 1 or 3.
All right. That's all we got for you. So please remember to subscribe to our podcast, leave a review, like us on Facebook and Instagram at Conspiracy Podcast 1, and remember to tune in for next week's episode, which will be posted on Wednesday. Bye, guys.
See ya.